Hey friends, what is good? Today we'll have a look on how to compare two versions of the same model using IFClite. What do I mean with comparing two versions of the same model? I don't mean like the name of the file or something like that. No, I mean comparing two IFC models which have had some revision changes. Let's say that some information has been added, some objects have been removed or added, and stuff like that. Okay, so we compare to see, to get an overview over these things. At the same time, I'm going to use this video to provide some constructive feedback for Louis Trumpler for potential improvements for IFClite. Let me first say that I love this tool more and more by day. I'm really blown away by how useful it can be, how easy it is to use, and accessible for everyone for free. So again, Louis has been extremely proactive when it comes to feedback, and he has implemented lots of things. All right, so before I dive in, let me also thank you, Alonia, for this model. I'm just using this model from one course we have on BIM Voice Academy. If you want to join, it's free, and you get access to many courses around Bonsai BIM and IDS and other open standards and stuff like that. So feel free to do that at school, its own school community, school.com, BIM Voice Academy. With that being said, now let's dive in. We have two files here, two IFC models. We see here, this is the first version and this is the second version. I can make visible both. And I want to compare this. Then we go here to panels, and I'm going to press on compare models. And you press run comparison and you get a list of things. And this is very cool because now you can, by default you see, or not by default, but first time I chose that, right? But now if I want to see only data, which objects have been affected by data, or only geometry, right? So it's very cool, but I want to see both. And it's very, like, the navigating through this is extremely nice. So if I press on the first one, it's highlighting the object that has been changed, and the objects that have been added, then the objects that have been added, and then the objects that have been deleted. So let's start with the most important things, which are the bugs. There are a few bugs here. And how do I know? Well, because I made the changes on the second revision of this model. So the first bug is this one. I did not move this wall. So this shouldn't happen. I don't know exactly what happens here, but I didn't move this wall. So let me prove that to you, okay? Let me remove this so we see the buildings. It's about this wall right here, right? And I didn't move it. Look, if I hide the second version, we will see that I still have right here the same wall. So that wall is not moved. You see, this is from the first version. Now I'm going to hide it and show the second version. It's here. No change. So again, Louis, this is a bug. For sure, you have to have a look at it and see what's happening. The good part is that it was the only thing that was affected by that. So I'm not sure what exactly happened there, but yeah, it's something I would look into. This is the first bug, okay? The second bug is that I made some changes. I added some information, and those are not reflected here. We can see here only the, like, in added elements, we can see the wall, and indeed I added myself this wall, which doesn't make any sense. And why? Just as a test, right? So I added this wall and this beam. I just threw them out here as a test, right? To see what is changing and see also if the tool behaves accordingly. So I added some other information, and that information is some quantities for some objects, and that information is not shown here. Even if I go on data, let's see, that's interesting. No, because it's not this wall, it's another wall. That's the thing. Yeah. So the added information, it's very interesting because in this case, first, so I just realized that this might be another bug. I added physically this wall and this beam, so I don't see why they should be in data. They should be in geometry only. But I don't know if this, okay. Yeah, no, they show in both. So yeah, I think this is a bug too. I think these things should show only in geometry because, yeah, also data, other data is included with them when you add it, but it's not changed data. But yeah, or at least, yeah, maybe it should show in both. It shows. Maybe it's correct actually, because yeah, we get the physical, the geometry, but we get also some data, because yeah, they have a classification, some properties, these objects. So that might be correct. Louis, I'm sure you're going to watch this, so let me know what you think. But that's my logic here. I think it's okay. I think it's okay for that one. Let's go back to the missing information, okay? So what did I do here? Let me show everything again. Both. Yeah, I was not on both. Again, I don't know what happens with this wall, because it's not correct, okay? This wall has not changed, and we see what changes here defined here is that it was moved 1.09 meters, which I didn't do, okay? The wall is in the same place, and I can also show you right here. You can see I didn't move this wall. It's still here. I didn't move it. It's there. So yeah, I don't know exactly what's happening there. Okay, let's continue. Let's keep going with the information added, right? So again, in the added stuff, we should have had the objects where I changed, where I added some information, and of course it should show in data when looking into data, okay? And how do I know that? Well, let's have a look. So, okay, I just close that. Now let's hide the first model. And if we click on this wall, we have something quantities. There are no quantities on other walls. Only on this wall I added the quantities, and they are not shown as a change. This is information change, data change, and it should reflect in the list as well. So I don't know exactly why that happens, but yeah, maybe it's not included in the checks that are performed by the tool. Anyway, like, I think we should start there with the bugs, and then to go also into the user experience and other stuff. But yeah, this is what's happening here. And then I also have a BIM. You see, all the other BIMs don't have any quantities, but this one I added quantities. So we should get a list of this. I think this is going to be easy to fix by Louis, but again, is one thing that is not working, okay? Cool, now let's get back to the comparison, and let's go back here again. Yeah, okay, so we see we see that the wall and the beam, this works fine. Like I told you, like I added these objects, and then I also deleted some objects, which are these ones. Where are they? Ah, okay, I hide the first model, so that's why it was not showing. There we go. So here are the beams that I deleted. I removed just as a test, okay? So don't build your project like this. I just tested the tool, okay? So indeed, I removed these beams. We have 3 beams, and I have also removed one window. Here, it was another window in this wall, and I removed that one. And also the opening element. Yeah, because every window is connected to a wall through the opening element, okay? So that was also removed. So this is correct. Like the deleted worked flawlessly. Everything nice. Cool. So that's it. I love it. I love it. And I think what I would like even more, although that might be already possible, but let's say, for example, yeah, I'm thinking going from here to make some BCF issues. That could be one thing, because maybe you might say that if I go here and BCF issues, and I want to create a BCF issue that, let's say, wall should not be moved or something like that, you know. Let's say this is high and it's a warning, no issue, create a topic. How do I navigate between these windows? This is something for the user experience. Now if I want to go back to where I was, I have to go here and press on compare models. And if I want to go back to BCF issues, I have to navigate through this. This is quite cumbersome if you ask me. I would like to have a closer place. I think Bonsai has nailed down this quite well. We should have a place here to see all the windows, there are two things that I would like. This is my wish list, okay? Closer, so I don't want to have to go here. Either a shortcut as well, but also closer, a button here or a list like in Bonsai BIM. In Bonsai BIM we have this. It doesn't have to be this, but yeah, in every window we have this window, this panel at the top where we navigate through the different things. And also you have two options. You can either click on these icons or we can drop down and choose which panel to go to. I love this. I think this is extremely useful. That's one thing, because it's a bit like I'm with the cursor here, I work here, I look through the things here, and it's a bit cumbersome to go to the other side. Like I know that's going to add up in a lot of time and frustration. I promise you, like for everyone, for the users and also to Louis. So I think it would be great to have a way. I don't know, maybe have a better way to do that. Maybe a lateral panel, or here like something you can click on some icons and navigate through between the different panels. That would be amazing, so you don't have to go there. That's my take. I could be wrong, of course, but personally I would prefer that, because it's much easier to go and navigate through them. Now the second thing, even more important I would say, but maybe equally important, it would be to have the option to add a panel like this. I love to have always a panel where when I'm clicking on something. Now, if I want to click on something and read information, how do I go there? I have to disable this, right? I have to go back and uncheck that. Well, let me tell you something. I always like to have a panel where I can read the information from all the objects that I click on, right? So I think it would be amazing if we can add these panels. If this would be possible, if there would be possible to add one or more panels. For example, I would like to add a parallel one like right here, or that can be solved also, like if in this place, if this viewing place, it's also like Bonsai. Maybe I got too used with Bonsai again. I don't say it has the best user experience and so on, but yeah, you can navigate through everything. And this is the project layout, right, that we see. So in a way, this might be actually a good idea, because this thing right here, it's quite static. It's kind of little things that you have to check, or you do it once and then you are done with it, right, in a way. So it would be good if we can change that as well. So maybe have that included and being able to navigate to different type of views. But anyway, having the possibility to add a new docking tables, I think could be also very useful. Like in my case, if I cannot do anything with this, but if I can change that, then that can add a lot of value for me. And because I can change that to having the information to read. I don't need this stuff so often to look on the spatial decomposition and the class, how do I classify stuff and so on. That you do that first time when you check. Most of the time you deal on these other things on the things that are here. Like I'm going to run IDS, I'm going to go through the lens rules, I'm going to do clash detection and compare models. So I think that could be very helpful. And again, also having an option to add maybe a panel, like maybe even these panels could be movable around or something. I don't know, again, I don't want to become very confusing for users and overwhelming, but it's something that would make sense to look into it at least. Or again, like maybe there is an edit mode where you can change your user interface. We can look also, like Solibri has that option where you can tailor your viewing interface, right? I think that, so you can have like some dockable panels which you can choose where you want to show them, like on the left, on the right, on the bottom, or at the top, whatever, right? I think that could be extremely useful, again, for some users. But if this tool is going to be, especially like I see it as strong, extremely powerful tool for BIM coordination. And these people are used with advanced stuff, and I think that could be very, very useful. We can look into and see how Solibri approaches that. Maybe it's even better than Bonsai, but again, I think these two things would make the tool extremely much more useful, and I would be able to do my job much quicker with it. Again, that being said, chapeau to Louis, this tool already does much more than I was ever expecting it to do. So amazing work, Louis. Please fix the bugs, because that is extremely important. And now there is also another thing that I would like to have. If I go back to the comparing models, I would like to also have a way to, I know we can use BCF issues, but I would like also to be able to export a list like a JSON or CSV with the objects that are involved in the revision changes. Like, for example, what has changed, what has been added, what has been deleted. I would like to have a way to report that in one go. And having that, like maybe connecting this with lists, which I don't know how that would work, or I don't know. But I think that's maybe the way, right? Or maybe have a button right here, download the report, and then you get a list of global ID and description of what happened and so on. I think that would be extremely useful, because that can be used for other stuff as well. For me, now, I go here, I don't see much, it's only visual, right? It's only visual and here, but I want to do more with this data. And sometimes maybe I don't want to really send a BCF to be for something to be fixed, but something broader. Again, it's a preference thing, and actually I need that for the practitioner training. So that's a specific thing, because yeah, it's something to be able to go quickly through the objects that have been involved in the change. Otherwise, there is a workflow for that, but it's very manual, right? I have to click on each of these and then go to this and read the, where is it? Uncheck this and then read the global ID and copy paste from here, right? That information is already available when we run this stuff. So I think it would be amazing if we can also just download the report, global ID, description of the object, whatever, like you can see here, and so on, and also description of the change itself. Yeah, that being said, again, like this tool, it becomes better by day, and I love it. I hope you like it as well. And Louis, thanks so much, man. Keep up doing the amazing job and making this tool amazing for everyone to use, democratizing openBIM, practical openBIM use. Thank you so much. And guys, if you have any questions, if there are anything that you think I didn't touched in my video, feel free to add. If you are using Solibri, Simple BIM, BIM Collab Zoom, BIM Vision, or any other tool, leave me a comment and tell me which kind of thing that you like a lot in that tool you would like to see here as well. Maybe I was too maybe I gave too many ideas, too many things to think about, which might be overwhelming for users, for Louis, and so on. I know for Louis is not, because he can definitely do all the things that I mentioned and he can implement, but I think it's important that my opinions get backed by your experience, and that this tool doesn't become really a Frankenstein, but actually a useful tool, which is easy to navigate and effective to use. I think that's extremely important. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you up in the next one. Bye.